First, I'd like to say hello to all my friends, internet friends out there on the Guitar Player Collective. Primarily wanted to say hello to or at least thank you anyway, to Henry, Adrian, and Carl. You guys are doing an amazing job with the site. I mean, it's really become a cool place to come and learn, and tons of positivity, and I think most of that is reflective of the admin, and you know, the place is kind of taken on the personality of you guys, and that's really cool. But anyway, I wanted to post a video, some things that I've worked on recently, and I thought that might be able to help some other players out that might be possibly working on the same type of thing or struggling with the same types of things that I struggle with. But real quick background is I've always been a major minor guy, never really was a big pentatonic guy, and so for me it's still somewhat new. I was always played blues and would play around with the blues scale and everything else, but never really worked out pentatonic in all positions and played straight pentatonic. So without getting into details, of late I've really gotten into blues and decided that I really wanted to kind of really get a full grip on pentatonics. I know that's a little strange way to do it, to go backwards like that, but anyway, the most important thing, and I think a lot of guys struggle with it too, is when you're, especially during improvisation, that you kind of get stuck in a rut in that first position. I'm assuming everybody at this point, if you're watching this video, is at least aware of the basic minor pentatonic. At this point. So in that first position, it's real easy to get, like I said, stuck in a rut, improvising, and getting stuck in that first position. So and I'm sure everybody, and just like myself, when you see those pentatonics and they have a really cool ring to their tone as opposed to just straight major, you know, the pentatonics has a bluesier feel to it, and there's just something unique. It almost arpeggiates if you play it fast and start to kind of roll through it. So, but you see guys and they do it and they move all over the neck and stuff, up and down, and everybody wants to do that. So first of all, I'd like to stress by saying that obviously if you're playing in first position pentatonics in the key of B, and we're going to do everything in B just because it's easier to, you know, there's plenty of room on both sides of the neck for movement examples. But the most important thing is because there is, if you're still relatively new to learning the pentatonic scale, most guitar players, but I'm going to go over some stuff. Some of it's kind of common knowledge, and if you know it, just sit through it, and we're going to work on some other stuff that might help you out. But obviously with first position pentatonic, there's some other stuff in there that can actually beef up your first position without necessarily walking all over the neck. Some of those things are obviously the lower extension. So you have your first position pentatonic, down here sliding down 2 frets below it. The other one is the high extension. So just 2 frets above it. So again, you have your first position pentatonic. You can move up. The other thing is again off this high extension, is if you just remember, you've got the first couple notes, your pentatonic or blues pentatonic is right here. So you can use that octave version of it and still kind of stay in the first position, but it opens up some doors for you. So aside from that, really what I like to do though is I like to set, and I used to do this a lot with major and minor stuff for improv, is to lay down what I like to call riff highways. So obviously we're in the key of B. Everybody's familiar with the center square. So we kind of use that as our 0 point, as a starting point to work with, because we can always find it relatively quickly. the visual pattern or the riff highway that I like to visualize on a guitar neck, and that helps me map out everything, is basing out of the center square is a square, a rectangle, and a square. And that's off the key we're in. Obviously if you're in A, rectangle, some open strings, square. Square, rectangle, square. And again, we're on the D and G strings, middle of the neck, right through the middle of the scales. Square, rectangle, square. So let's, using that riff highway, say we're playing around in first position. Slide into the, down the riff highway. Back up into first position again. So again. So again we're done. That's going down the highway, 2 exits there. But you can also just use that riff, those notes anyway. It doesn't necessarily have to be a particular riff. It's the structure of the notes, so you can rearrange them any way you want to. Or you can just use those notes and just kind of experiment around them. It's a way to kind of get in and dabble in a position without necessarily buying all the way in by committing. You know, you could just kind of. Or you could just use those notes only. So it gives you a little something to work on. So you can see, again, all that stuff is based off of square, square, rectangle, square. So hopefully that helps. When I have time, I'm going to actually make another video, and because there's more to it than that. We can take this same kind of scalar pattern idea, and it gets a little trickier going in the upward direction, but we'll work. I'm going to do that one on the next video. So square, rectangle, square. Thanks guys, hope that helps you guys out.